calmed down because of the seriousness of Dick's mental state. You had a rough childhood, or didn't even have a childhood for that matter. Your ego, I mean. Traumatized childhoods where the kid had to worry about adult decisions is the only way an ego can develop before an id. The ego then decided to create you because he was incomplete. He needed you for something, probably for an appetite, or a sense of self-identity which he couldn't form without the freedom to do so. You can get your ego back by two ways, and that's if the Aquarius age doesn't deem it too late. What? What the fuck, B? Sean, now this is sounding crazy. Isn't Aquarius another zodiac sign? The zodiac killer has my ego? I know, bro. I know, and I'm sorry. I'm not even an expert on this. I'm still a student. I'm just telling you all I can remember from what schools said. Wait, schools? I know schools. Fine-ass slack schools from Scholastic Island. I grew up with her. How do you know schools? Dick quickly remembers Sean mentioning how school sent him to inform him that he had help on his strength of her during the casino dream. Yeah, that's her. She got a YouView channel talking about a lot of that conspiracy theory shit. So I comment and email her questions from time to time. Yeah, bro, you gotta find her so she can fill you in on the age. All others have to know about the age. But until then, let me finish telling you what I know. When you dream, keep an eye out for details that distinguish the ego from you, the id. If you can do this, you'll locate your ego in the other world and can decipher the messages it's trying to send you. If you complete something that's significant enough to get your ego off the hook, the age will release it from the moon. Jot the dreams down in a book and buy some dream interpretation books. That's how I learned that playing sports means cooperation. Also, pay attention to what occurs in the waking state. There will come times where you can connect the dots between worlds. You might feel like you're going crazy, but that's only if you care about what the company thinks. We're others, bro. Once we're activated, it's lit. And what's the other way? Activating your superego. I wish I could tell you how, bro, but shit, I'm still learning to develop my ego. Hopefully I'll save up them 2 racks so I can negotiate my way up out of here like yours did. But to sum it up, your superego is the part of yourself that will do what's best for the bigger picture. And in the age, we might all need one. What is it about the age that has you on edge? I can see it in your face every time you say it. It's like you've seen a ghost. Shit, seeing ghosts is probably not far-fetched when it comes to the age. It's complex. The spookiest thing I heard so far has to do with genetics. Schools calls it bioethics. The Fosseys have resurfaced to redeem their leader and believe they will get it right this time. And these fruit and cyborg phones play a big part in it. Oh, and don't forget this, your ego is the ops to the Aquarius age if it's unhealthy. So whatever your ego did was more than likely very egotistical and why it was snatched. Dick bowed his head, letting everything sink in. So, in a nutshell, my ego is lost in my mind in another dimension. More like imprisoned on the moon, which is your mind, in potentially several dimensions. It's all of our subconscious mind. People don't want to believe it, but I think we're trapped there for eternity. What makes us different from the company? Dick abruptly switched topics. The company has given into Uranus's vie over the universe. Everything is arranged in an algorithm for them, so they no longer have to will anything into existence. Or that's what Uranus has them think, but we know better. The loss of free will? No, I wish. For fish's sake, leave free will for the unbearable, please. Free will is more than likely what got Benjamin snatched, unless something was in the way of a mission he had to complete that made him snap. Self-volition, on the other hand, is what we fight for. By the way, you never told me. What is your id's name? What did Benjamin name you? Dick paused and smirked at Sean while holding back the inevitable laughter before finally saying the name. Dickie Bunz. Sean's eyes lit up as he repeatedly gasped for air. Hey, yo! I knew you would laugh. Dick laughed. Yo, bro, no bullshit though, that shit is lit, bro. It just sounds funny as fuck, but you crazy? Nah, you good, son, trust me, you good. Yo, I just remembered too. I need to ask you this. What's the first thing that came to mind when you saw Talk in the dream? Fiona. Who that? Fiona is the chick Talk used to fuck with when we was younger and shit. Probably still do. But yeah, why do you ask? That's who you better keep your eyes peeled for. That dream was to provide you the basic symbols we just deciphered. But your gut, your intuition, will lead you to the deeper meaning of your current mission connected to that dream. And don't be surprised if one mission turns into 4 and 5. Just do your best to focus on the moment, and when it comes, you'll know. Chapter 7. Baby Girl. She didn't give a hug, handshake, or any form of greeting once they were in close range of each other. Instead, Baby Girl followed Benjamin down the airport corridor to the car like a captive. She glanced at him a couple of times as they opened up the highway into Empress Village, but refrained from expressing her feelings to him. Oh look, once we get to the hotel, I'm going to give you the rundown. You don't have to read from a script or anything, but this guy wants you to do that doll thing we were working on, okay?
Look, I told you, I can't be doing that with some big dick motherfucker, okay? So you better have checked this dick out.
I'm not going to be screening dicks for you every time we have to do something. What the fuck I look like to you?
You're the one who said it. Baby girl, I have to make sure the clients don't send you email. They have to come through the company email for your safety. So there, now what do you have to say?
And I told you the emails get forwarded to you after the algorithm locates your keywords. So, if you would have checked your email, you'd know that there's a dick pic waiting for you. She wanted to continue provoking his outburst, but stopped because he was right.
I brought wigs.
He glanced at her head to scan the one she was currently wearing. At the red light, he looked at her again, but she remained facing forward while loosening the buttons on her blouse. She wanted to leap on him and ride his dick into the sunset until they crashed into something light enough to live, but irritably patted her foot to the car floor to stop her anxiety. As she went to place her hand on his thigh, the car behind them honked their horn because the light turned green, causing Benjamin to stare in the rear view with anger before putting the car back into motion. Baby girl pulled her hand back, relieved it went unnoticed, but was still anxious. I'm just trying to get you settled in and make sure all our business is straight. Benjamin attempted to coax her.
I didn't say anything.
She pouted. I know, but I can feel you. She stood in the hotel room adjacent to Benjamin with an attitude, but found no pleasure in being stagnant, so began uploading photos of her flight and hotel receipts to their business calendar. Incapable of holding in the sexual frustration any longer, she opened her high-end purse and pulled out a next-generation Satisfier and placed it on her clitoris. Her heels flew off in the direction of her legs, which she rested onto the wall over her headboard. The unfiltered moans and thuds traveled through the wall into Benjamin's room. Excitement shot through her veins when hearing his footsteps rush the floor into the hallway to her door, motioning his copy of her key into the slot. He burst in, letting the door slam lock behind him in order to catch her by the hair before she hopped to bed, but her wig fell off into his hand. She cleared the bed, but since she rolled over to the side opposite of the bathroom and the exit, she was left with nowhere else to run. She nestled her butt into the corner, then slid down the wall as his outstretched hand got close to her. This is what you want, ain't it, you little weak-willed slut? Benjamin caught her forearms in one hand and pulled her up before reaching the floor, then shoved 2 fingers into her mouth that she bit down onto with her lips. Baby girl closed her eyes and grabbed his wrist, pulling him into her mouth, so he mushed her head onto the bed and climbed atop of her. You think you're going to cock tease me all day and get me to fuck that little whole pussy of yours, don't you? He sneakily reached into his pocket for a prick needle and punched it into baby girl's thigh. She was unaware of it and chalked it up as a Charlie horse and rolled with the punches as he turned her over onto his knees and yanked her panties down. After shoving the same 2 fingers back into her mouth, he inserted them into her vagina back and forth, then sat her up by her throat on his lap. You're out here for one fucking job, but guess who's covering for my other beige girl, who's held up in Atlantis now because of their antics?
A filthy slut who wants her daddy to whore her little desperate pussy out, that's who.
Baby girl moaned intensely while grinding on his fingers inside her.
Please, please fuck me. Please, I need it so bad. I need it so fucking bad you don't understand how this feels. I'll do the job, I'll do whatever you tell me to, but please, please plunge your hard cock into my aching little pussy right now. Please, I need it. I promise I'll be a good whore. I'll give this pussy up to whoever daddy tells me. You could pimp this pussy all weekend. Just please fucking help me. I need to be fucked badly.
You weak bitch, Benjamin scoffed. Do what I say, then I'll fuck you. His fingers stopped penetrating her pussy, so she looked down into his eyes, exhausted from his cleverness.
How did you know that's what I wanted? That is, what I needed for you to fuck me and pimp me out for the weekend.
Because I'm a Pisces, I know what that pussy needs before you even do. So you have to calm down. Benjamin leapt up from under her and quickly unstrapped his belt.
No, no, no,
She cried. She couldn't tell if the print of his erect shaft implied he was still into her, or if he was aroused by punishing her. Nonetheless, her jaw was now squeezed at the sides, opening her mouth for his hard dick to plunge inside before she could get her final words out. Her attitude instantly changed. She locked eyes with him and without blinking placed both thumbs gently to the middle of his ball sack and cradled it with her palms cupped, gulping him at every thrust. In minutes, she was sound asleep, leaving Benjamin room to wiggle without her. His cellular phone had 7 backed-up messages from the client asking to see baby girl, with emphasis on her coherence. She's clean, no drugs in her system, Benjamin texted back. The small needle he pricked baby girl with had a meter in it that read she tested negative for drugs. Good, because I'm 20 minutes away and can't wait to fuck, Jeff replied. Benjamin gave baby girl 20 minutes to restore her energy, but when Jeff arrived, he woke her up. She looked in the mirror and applied her red lipstick, then adjusted her blonde wig. She then fixed her tits inside of her push-up bra to give them a lift and stepped back in a pose with a mean mug on her face.
you just couldn't have a drink with him in a bar or at a football game, huh?
Benjamin lifted his face from his mobile device at her, but her exoticness raised him from the bed before any more of her words could. He crept behind her in the mirror, tugging at her hips from behind. You have to understand, baby girl. Men want to tell other men about their cars, how much horsepower they have, or their new position at work, and how much it pays, but never want to tell us how they got it. It will kill them to reveal they had to take a training course or that a woman helped them. But when our dick is glued to our legs from the dribble of cum left oozing out of it after humping the shit out of you, we'll tell you our mother's maiden name. Even more if your hands are small and our cocks can fit in both of them.
You are a fucking pig.
She laughed hysterically after hitting him in the shoulder and leaving the Jeff's room. Jeff was waiting for her with his shirt off and cowboy hat on, representing the state of Texas. She found the hair across his chest hideous, but thought his round stomach was adorable. She gave his penis a playful slap after putting the condom on for him, then placed one hand on the wall unit and the other on her cellular phone.
I need to set this up real quick,
She said nervously, although Benjamin told her that recording the session would be fine.
I hope you don't mind. My boss...
Oh no, go ahead, it's fine. He told me about the whole video mess. Just make sure I can't be identified and we're okay. Jeff shrugged.
No, I'd never. See, look.
Baby girl rotated her screen so that the inside camera recorded her only and showed Jeff how her figure took up the majority of the screen. But more importantly, that he could not be ID'd. Alright, now I just need to make sure I can see you too in my camera. Jeff positioned baby girl in a mirror atop the dresser from behind so that he could watch her face while he fucked her. Yep, there we go. Alright, now let's see what you are made of. Jeff was 5'7" and 250 pounds of obesity. His lip hung low, and baby girl anticipated drool when looking at the mirror and watching him place his cock inside her. This would be the first time she would be doing this fetish and would be devastated if she failed Benjamin. She went in her bra and pulled out a pacifier, then placed it in her mouth with the palm of her hand, then reached behind her and placed her other hand on Jeff's face softly. He almost came at the touch, so quickly let go of her to maintain stamina. She then bounced on him once, pressing him fully inside her while fidgeting a finger over his bottom lip into his mouth. Jeff breathed heavy, but mustered up some courage after baby girl squinted her eyes twice and hung her head down like a baby. Now don't you cry on me, you hear me, baby girl? I don't want not one sound out of you. You be strong for Papa, baby. This is going to hurt me more than it hurts you. She put her body into a relaxed trance that was near lucid and tilted her head in the same direction and angle as her body. Then Jeff began fucking her doggy style, hard. He lifted his head just enough to give the impression he wasn't looking while the corner of his eye was on the mirror watching baby girl's lifeless body.